Alright, it's the next morning. Supposed to get up hot again today. Come down here to the house, but this next thing I'm gonna do, it's on these curly maple scales to bring out them the stripes or whatever they call them. Using Aquafortis, it's an acid. It learned this from watching Cave Dweller 1959, but I'm gonna do this outside. I'm not gonna do it in the house. I'll do this part outside. We'll do one. I'll show you. I'll go through the steps with you here. We'll do one of them, then I'll get the others done, and then we'll move on to the next thing. What this does, you put it on, it'll turn it green, which this is the first time I'm going by what he was saying, but he said just smear it all over it. Get a good coat on every bit of it. Says what this does, he says, does something to the sugars in the maple, like crystallizes the sugars in the maple to make them, that's what the acid does, and it brings out them stripes, which I'm not a chemist or anything, I really don't know. It's about like shooting right over top of my head, but we're going to try it and see what it does. He says after it turns green, he says you want to activate the acid, you want to introduce some heat to it. Alright, I've got a good coat on that. We'll let it dry, then we'll throw some heat to it. It's a little greenish looking. Once we apply some heat to it, it's supposed to turn it kind of reddish. So I'll let this dry a little bit more, then we'll be right back. Now we're ready to add some heat to it and all, so I'll go ahead and get that started. Said this is the first time I've done this. I really don't know how close to hold it to the heat or what. Apparently I held it a little close right there. cool it off here. Alright, we're back. I got them all done out there. Now it's time to, I like walnut stain. Yeah, we'll stain them here and put some true oil on them. So, I'm sitting at the kitchen table. I don't know how many guys are able to do this, but I'm one lucky one. My wife, she don't mind. If I had a small building that was clean, didn't have a bunch of dust on it, I could go in there and work on stuff like this. But as long as I clean my mess up, I'm fine. But we're going this. We'll start with one of them here, and some walnut stain. Oh, here's the one I done with the ram horn. It's all, I like the way that horn done right in there. It gives you a good grip. And you got a ball back here and a ball up here. But that's the ram horn my brother sent me from Alaska. So I want to thank him. And this is actually, he is wanting this knife for a birthday present for his stepson. So it's all done. Leather sheath. We'll get in on this here, get everything on my mat here, that way I don't make a mess. But we'll start staining here. Tape there I need to get off. When I started out in construction work, I'd done a little bit of everything. I've been a painter, carpenter, done a little bit of everything in construction work before I finally settled into plumbing. Been in plumbing for the past 20 years as far as commercial work. Was in residential, done a lot of residential building. As far as plumbing, electrical, painting, drywall, when it comes to everything has to do in construction, I've about done it. So this staining, I worked with a guy who was staining some trim, and he liked to put it on a little heavier than what I thought, but until I realized what he was doing. But he said you put it on kind of a thick coat. Then after you get a thick coat on there, as you're putting that on there, the wood soaks it up. And as you putting it on there, just make sure to cover everything real good. Then after you get ample enough on there. Go back and just wipe it down all over. Kind of rub it like you're polishing it. And he says that gets the equal amount of color everywhere, and you don't have a dark spot here and a light spot there. And it works. Oh, that's going to look nice right there.